Hello and welcome to musicclassroom.com for a new tip that will allow you to understand today how to enrich a basic chord. Of course, we will have to consider the different natures of the chord, that's to say the different existing colors, and add what we will call extensions and alterations. So additional notes that will allow you to improve the sound quality of your chords and consequently of your harmonic progressions. Before speaking about chord enrichment, we have to consider the different natures of the chord. Basically, we have 5 colors of chord: the major, minor, dominant, half diminished, and diminished. As we can see in the first column, we have the basic chords, 3 sound chords made of the root C, the 3rd E, and the 5th G. As we can see, we have a succession of thirds. If we add another third, the B, we obtain the major 7, and so the C major 7 chord. If we add the D note, we obtain the 9th of the chord, so a C major 9 chord. If we add an F note, we obtain the C major 11th chord. And finally, if we add the A note, we get the C major 13th chord. So the 7th, 9th, 11th, and 13th are called chord extensions. We can notice here the F turn F sharp. Why? Because the F could create a harsh dissonance with the E note, the 3rd. So we just raised the F into a F sharp. Same thing for the minor chord. The basic chord is C, E flat, G. If we add a B flat, we get the minor 7, and so the C minor 7 chord. If we add the D note, we get the C minor 9th chord. Then the F note, and we obtain the C minor 11th chord. And finally, the A note, and we get the C minor 13th chord. Let's see now the dominant chord. We can see that the basic chord is the same than the C major chord because it's made of a major 3rd E and G, the perfect 5th. Now, if we add a B flat note, we get the C dominant 7th chord. Then the D note added to get the C 9th dominant chord. Then the F sharp note, the augmented 11th, to get the C dominant 11th chord, and finally the A note to get the C 13th dominant chord. The next chord is called half diminished. Why? Because it's made of C, the root, E flat, the minor 3rd, and G flat, the diminished 5th of the chord. When we had a B flat, we obtain the minor 7th, and we get the C half diminished 7th chord. Then a D note to get the C minor 9th half diminished chord. Then the F note to obtain the C half diminished 11th chord, and at last the A note to get the C half diminished 13th chord. Finally, we will consider this chord, which is the same that the previous one here. The C diminished chord is also in its basic form made of a minor third, E flat, and a diminished fifth, G flat. If we add the A note or B double flat, we get the diminished seventh note, and so the C diminished seventh chord. By adding a D note, we will get the C diminished ninth chord, then an F note to get the C diminished 11th chord, and finally the A note to get the C diminished 13th chord.